All right, last Thursday, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and his Republican opponent Sharon Angle squared off in their first and only debate of this election season. Now, with the race so tight in the polls, the debate got heated, and so did the people watching. Frank Luntz went to the New York Hotel and Casino in Vegas to get reaction from Nevada voters themselves.
Sean, we've come to Las Vegas. I'm here at New York, the heart of the Vegas Strip, to ask Nevadans what they think of the Senate Majority Leader and how they plan to vote in just days from now. But before we go to them, I want to show you a clip of what happened in the debate that took place only a couple days ago. Harry Reid was asked to close. They used their dials to react to his delay. Let's take a look.
Okay, got to find my little notes here.
Read the closing statement.
Okay, a lot of paper here. I have a few notes I made. Thank you very much, Mitch, for what you've done here.
I got a straight question for you guys. He's been in Washington for 24 years. Do you think that he should have had his closing prepared by this point? Is that fair?
He should have had his closing prepared, and I think he showed that he's a little bit off center. He's time to retire.
You're right. Man up, get out of the way, and put Sharon Angle in. She can make jobs for Nevada. Yes.
Criticizing Sarah Palin for not having debate prep.
I think he did what any human would do in a very heated situation. He got a little flustered, but at the end of the day, that's not what people are going to vote about.
Now, we're not voting for a public speaker. We're voting for a senator who will lead this state, and that's what's important. Somebody who speaks in words and not just platitudes like his opponent.
He should know the information. He shouldn't need notes. He's been there for 24 years. He shouldn't have to read his closing.
But he's experienced. He's human just like anybody else. Like if anybody else got up and made a speech, I'm quite sure y'all used some notes too. So what's the deal?
His experience got us in this place.
He could have did like Palin and wrote it on his hand. So, you know what I mean? That way he would have been ready.
His experience got us to where we are here in Nevada, the highest unemployment in the country.
I'd rather fumble with my notes than smile when you say the word unemployment, as his opponent did.
His closing reflects the rest of his term in Senate. He was bumbling then, he's bumbling now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. The substance of his comments were effective.
What does this have to do with
He was a Democrat. He needed a teleprompter.
What can we say? He's doing just fine with what he's doing. We need experience. Sharon Angle, what is her angle? She doesn't have any experience. She wants it. She wants to get the experience.
We're going to do this one at a time. Andy.
The problem, Frank, is that he's never taken responsibility for the situation in Nevada. You had mentioned foreclosure, unemployment, but also bankruptcy. We lead the nation in all three categories. And this seat that he has, he's not entitled to the seat. If he cannot do the job, he's been there long enough. We need to move on and get somebody that can. Now, I'm going to say this. At no point.
You're going to say it quickly.
He can't have it both ways. He can't get all the credit and none of the blame.
That's right. So you're for Sharon Angle?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He keeps saying government is the solution, but fails to acknowledge that government's the problem. You can't have it both ways.
Okay, I want to broaden this out. Is this vote about Harry Reid or Sharon Angle? Is this an affirmation or rejection of Harry Reid or an affirmation or rejection of Sharon Angle? Who says Harry Reid? Who says Harry Reid? Raise your hands if you say Harry Reid.
It's neither one.
So for most of you, it's about Reid, but doesn't Angle play a role in this?
It's neither one, Frank.
She does. She's not a polished politician. Right. She obviously doesn't say things the right way, but her policies are right.
Now, let me ask you about Sharon Angle. Is she actually qualified to be the United States Senator?
Absolutely.
Show of hands, yes.
Absolutely.
Show of hands if she is.
Absolutely.
Show of hands if she is not. Is there anyone here who's voting for Reid but still believes that Angle is qualified?
Well,
so you're that divided. Go ahead.
Well, she's qualified. She can run. She's allowed to run by law. That's qualification for me.
Got Obama in office.
Go ahead.
Got Obama in office.
Well, we had W. Bush in office, too.
Let me tell you, get a hell of a lot better John than Obama.
John and then Randy.
You know, Reid several times used the word extremist. And you know what? If extremist means anti what's in Washington right now, I'm all for it. I think that's a good word right now.
Randy.
I'm working today because of Harry Reid's support of the City Center project, and I'd like to thank him for that.
John.
Yeah, City Center got money from Harry Reid, but Echelon Resorts down the street, who didn't donate to Harry Reid, didn't get any help.
Speak the facts. You all should only be allowed to speak what you know, and
okay,
that's not
hold
true.
on. I want to show the clip of Sharon Angle's closing statement because I want to get your reaction to her. Sean, the debate was very divisive, and Reid people loved what he had to say, Engel people loved what she had to say, and there's very little cross-current. There were a few things that Sharon Engel said in her conclusion that people responded favorably for. Let's take a look.
I'm an optimist. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in American exceptionalism. I believe that with God's help, we the people have the solutions to our economic problems, and they're as simple as cut back on the spending, pay back on the debt, and take back our economy by repealing policies like Obamacare.
So there is some agreement. Do you agree that there's too much spending in Washington? Yes or no? Yes. We agree on something. Do you agree that this debt that has been worked up over years is a threat to the economy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you really think that Harry Reid's the answer to that?
No.
Yes.
Andy.
He carries Harry Reid has no backbone. He carries Obama's water. He does what he wants to do. And let me say this, and Obama, since he's been in office, he's already spent more money than George Washington to Ronald Reagan combined.
Absolutely.
No, he's trying to get solutions for us. We have to give him time. We have not given anything a time.
37 cents of every dollar we have to borrow right now on the debt.
Right. Adjust all those other presidents'
What is
figures for
happening
inflation.
here is what happens in Nevada every single time. We are so unreasonable. We will be split down Republican and Democratic lines till the day we die. We are yellow dog Democrats and yellow dog Republicans. Until we get it straight, we will always suffer. I don't care who's in Washington. I don't care who's in Congress. We better get it straight here in Nevada. We better get it straight.
Okay, Sean.
They're not statistics. They're people. They're the father who got laid off today and doesn't know how he's going to pay for his mortgage. The frightened senior who's seen half of her home value disappear. And the small business owner who's closing for good. Let's be honest. We tried it Harry Reid's way and it didn't work. It's time to end the bailouts and the reckless spending, the higher taxes, and put Nevadans back to work.
Okay, group. When she talks about the challenges facing the state, you all agreed with her. When she said that Harry Reid was responsible, that's where the split came. By a show of hands, how many of you would say that the state is really suffering? Really suffering. So we all agree that there's a problem here. Can't we hold Reid somewhat responsible for it?
I easily hold him a lot responsible for it.
I'm not asking for a lot. How many of you would say that he's somewhat responsible? Would you support him?
Yes, I support him because I want someone seasoned to fight for Nevada, plain and simple.
I support him because he's looking after certain sector of jobs for us.
The fact of the matter is that you support him because he's a Democrat like you, but the fact of the matter is that he needs to be held accountable. He can't take all of the credit and, once again, none of the blame.
First of all, I'm president of the National Black Republican Roundtable. I've been a Republican for over 25 years, but I'm what you call a reasonable Republican. Nobody gets to tell me who to vote for. I don't care what's behind your name, an R, a D, a I, a G, or whatever.
Every citizen in Nevada is responsible for who we elect and how we challenge our leaders.
I agree. No, I think that he's just been supporting and supporting and supporting. In the past, he was good, and now, yeah, he's partly responsible.
Bottom line is no one single person is going to fix this problem, but I would rather have somebody in there that's going to slow down, stop spending all our money, stop trying to tax us, and stop trying to think you know better than we do.
Yeah. Okay,
so
absolutely. Yes. Okay, so what I want you all at home to see one of the attacks that Harry Reid is running against Sharon Engel. This is a 30-second ad. It does very well among Reid supporters, and it suggests that Sharon Engel is too extreme. Let's take a look.
Sharon Engel voted against background checks to identify sex predators. She's against enforcing restraining orders that protect victims of domestic violence. She says rape victims should be forced to have the baby. Sharon Engel would wipe out Social Security, Medicare, and she'd privatize the VA.
Okay, so you tell me, is Engel too extreme?
No.
Yes.
No. Far too extreme, because we're seeing the coached Engel now, not the real Sharon Engel, who had these radical ideas many years ago.
No, absolutely. The debate really showed what she is very reasonable.
We've seen the real Reid, and Angle is what we need for Nevada.
Absolutely not.
We did look like a position.
We'll be going backwards.
Are those radical ideas less government?
No, that's
She's
not.
been preaching less
No,
government
that's
for
not.
years.
That's not
never
the extremist.
voted for a tax increase.
That's not the extreme part of it. The extreme parts are the other things that she has said and done, and she couches it in very good terms. But she's dangerous. She's dangerous.
Like if you destroy an eagle's egg, you go to jail. If you destroy a human egg, you get supported by the government.
Come on, Jack.
Privatizing Social Security. Privatizing Social Security is crazy. Supporting Yucca Mountain is crazy. She is extreme.
We've seen extreme since 2006 when the Democrats took over. I know what extreme is.
Okay, Sean, I want to show one more ad because, quite frankly, anytime that Viagra enters into politics, I'm interested in the result. Let's take a look.
Want to know just how out of touch Harry Reid is? Spending $787 billion on a stimulus that failed is a start. Or Reid voting to give illegal aliens special tax breaks and Social Security benefits is another big clue. But here's the kicker. Reid actually voted to use taxpayer dollars to pay for Viagra for convicted child molesters and sex offenders.
So I got to ask you guys, are you up for the Viagra ad?
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
This is the perfect example of why most of us are now muting the TV when all of these ads come on from both sides. They're getting away from the issues and just wasting our time on garbage.
Absolutely.
The Viagra ad was very misleading. You know, and 2,000-plus page bill. That was one little piece of it. That's one of the misleading ads.
They might have known it was in it.
But my understanding is that there was an amendment that he could have voted for, would have taken it out of there.
Sure. These commercials are silly. They're getting ridiculous. She's a change. She's somebody different. I'm not a huge supporter, but it's time to make a move and do something different.
How many Angle supporters would tell Sharon Angle remove that ad? It's not. And these are Angle supporters. So maybe she's making a mistake in this campaign. Andy?
Now, Frank, let's remember what Nancy Pelosi said. She said, first we must pass the bill before we know what's in it. They should have read it. They should have read it.
In those ads, she looks Nevada in the eye and she lies. And you can't get all of your information from AM talk radio.
Come on.
Everybody has been talking about Reid, Angle. How about Nevadans don't really have a clear choice? I am a lifelong Democrat. I do not vote party. I'm going to hold my nose and vote for Harry Reid for this reason only. In 2008, people screamed they wanted change and they voted for Obama, whom I did not. They got the change, and look at what happened. Reid, as you have pointed out, is the most powerful man in the United States Senate. She will have zero power and authority.
Listen, I'll tell you something. If all these politicians would totally take every ad off, or if one of them did, they would get a ton of votes.
So how many of you, by show of hands, would tell both Senate candidates, stop the negativity?
Stop it.
Yeah. How many of you, by show of hands, would say to these candidates, don't tell me what's wrong with your opponent, tell me what's right with you?
Exactly.
How many of you would tell Harry Reid and Sharon Angle, you owe Nevada one more debate?
Yes. No. Well, we know enough and we've heard enough.
Sean, we got consensus on 2 out of the 3, even if we don't have silence from the group at the end. I gotta say, I love Nevada. I hope it comes back. I love spending time here because you gotta give them credit. They're about the feistiest voters in America.
We love you too.
Back to you.